I'll tell you a story, if I can, about Neville Brown. He was a gambling man. Poor old Neville just couldn't catch a break. He played poker most every night, and even if the cards weren't right, Neville Brown would always raise the stakes. Neville lost most everything, till one day he lost his wedding ring, when his wife found out she was madder than a rattlesnake. She said, "Now you've gone and done it, Neville. You lousy gambler, you no good devil. You better get that damn ring back, whatever it takes." She sent him away without his dinner, and he snuck off like a low-down sinner, hoping to escape being murdered by his wife. But something that his wife had said was rattling around in Neville's head, and he had an idea that just might save his life. So Neville Brown headed down that dusty road to the edge of town, to the crossroads and the old stone wishing well. He sat down by an old dead tree and hitched up his leg over his knee to wait for the devil his immortal soul to sell. Well, Neville was just about asleep when he heard a voice that was old and deep, and his heart did pound as he heard that voice say, "Neville." He didn't think that his legs would work, but he managed to stand up with a jerk, and there he was, face to face with the devil. The devil's eyes were cold and dark, and he smiled at Neville just like a shark, and he said, "I believe you're here to make a deal. A buffalo nickel is all you need. We'll fill out a contract if you can read, and you'll sign your name in blood just to make it real." Neville said, "Devil, I know it's a sin, but whenever I gamble, I want to win. And for that I'm willing to trade my doggone soul." He wrote up the papers and the Neville signed the contract, then disappeared behind the devil's back, and he said, "Now pay the toll." The devil disappeared in a cloud of smoke. The sulfur smell made Neville choke, and a buffalo nickel appeared in Neville's hand. He dropped that nickel in the wishing well. He felt his soul getting damned to hell, and he headed down to town to get his wedding band. The devil made Neville fear for his life, but nothing was scarier than Neville's wife, so he placed a bet with a man who had his ring. The man just smiled and dealt the cards. Came out fast and they came out hard. Neville's hand was aces backed with kings. Brought that ring home, showed it to his wife. She didn't kiss him, but she spared his life, and gave him some dinner at no extra cost. From that day on, Neville gambled a lot. He never did worry about the cards he got, 'cause anytime he gambled, he never lost. I'd like to say that's the final chapter, and Neville lived happily ever after. And he just kept on winning every single bet. But there's a small matter of selling his soul, and the wishing well, and paying the toll. And one night the devil came back to collect his debt. It was 12 o'clock on a rainy night. Neville sat bolt upright in bed when he heard 3 knocks upon his door. Neville's wife, in a voice so sour, said, "Who could that be at such an hour?" Neville just lied and said, "Honey, I'm not sure." She got out of bed with a curse and a grumble, put on her robe and started to stumble toward the door like an angry grizzly bear. bathrobe seemed to increase her size, and she opened the door with bloodshot eyes. She had green mud on her face and crazy hair. You may not believe it, but I can't tell a lie. That devil jumped back and he let out a cry, and it took him several minutes just to get himself composed. He said, "Hello, ma'am. I'm the devil. I'm here to see your husband, Neville. I'm sorry if I caught you indisposed." She just snorted and pursed her lips, placed her hands upon her hips. Her voice could have frozen hell when she said, "Neville!" "Neville, there's no point in trying to hide, 'cause Lucifer is standing outside. I don't suppose you sold your soul to the devil." The devil held the contract up to the light. He said, "It's all here, black and white. Your husband wanted to gamble and always win." I held up my end of the deal, and Neville signed. You can see it's real, and I'm just here to collect his soul from him. She said, "Can I read it, Mr. Devil? Just to make sure it's on the level. You can understand why I might just not take your word." She looked the contract up and down for a minute or so, and then with a frown she said, "I'm afraid this whole thing is just absurd." I read it over. Here's my finding. This here contract ain't legally binding. It says whenever he gambled, he would always win. And I'm sorry you went through so much trouble. And devil, I hate to burst your bubble, but if there's no risk, then it ain't gambling, technically speaking, and so forth. My goodness. The devil didn't know just what to say exactly. She just stood there, matter-of-factly, and the devil said, "Damn it!" And he stomped his foot on the ground. He disappeared in a puff of smoke. Neville started laughing like he'd heard a joke, but he shut up quick when his wife turned around. Now you gotta hand it to Neville's wife. She didn't kiss him, but she spared his life, and you can imagine that it wasn't very pretty. So that's the story of Neville Brown, how his wife took the devil down. These days she works as a lawyer in New York City. So stay away from wishing wells, and if you don't, you can go to hell. And pray the Lord your immortal soul to keep. And if you're married and you value your life, always listen to your wife, 'cause you're gonna need her when you get yourself too deep.